Worries at all. Here whenever.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Ayanatul Graphic Zainiwala and I am a level 1 student at Chahans School Islamabad campus. So today I am with new Chatgpt conversation and with very memorable conversation. The topic is the evolution of communication method. So first of all, my question to you, Chatgpt, what is evolution of communication methods and how it work?
Walaikum assalam, Ayan. That sounds like a fascinating topic. The evolution of communication methods is a broad journey that spans from ancient times to the modern digital age. In essence, it started with basic forms like oral communication, where people conveyed messages verbally. Then we moved on to written communication using symbols, hieroglyphics, and eventually alphabets. As time went on, we saw the invention of the printing press, which revolutionized mass communication. Later, telegraphs and telephones allowed for real-time communication over long distances. In the 20th century, we witnessed the rise of radio, television, and eventually the internet, which brought about instant global communication. Today, we have a myriad of digital platforms from social media to video conferencing that have completely transformed how we connect and share information. If you'd like, I can dive deeper into any particular era or aspects of this evolution.
Okay, detailed answer. Uh, First of all, you say okay. First, I am say long answer. You don't long answer. Please long answer on it.
Got it. I'll make sure to provide even more comprehensive and in-depth responses moving forward. If there's anything specific you'd like to explore further, just let me know and I'll
But
dive right in.
please long answer. Please long answer.
Absolutely. I'll make sure to give you a thorough and detailed answer every time. Whenever you're ready with your next question or topic,
Yes,
I'll ensure.
my question still question is what is communication method and why it work? Please 60 point and long answer, deeply answer on it.
Absolutely. Let's dive into that in detail. Communication methods refer to the various ways in which information is conveyed between individuals, groups, or systems. These methods can be categorized in several ways, including the medium used, like verbal, nonverbal, written, or visual, the technology involved, such as face to face, telephonic, digital, and the context, formal, informal, professional, social. Why communication methods work? One, human connection. At the core, communication methods work because they fulfill the fundamental human need to connect, share ideas, and build relationships. The ability to convey thoughts and emotions is essential for cooperation and community building. Two, efficiency and clarity. Different methods are tailored to different needs. For instance, written communication is great for detailed, permanent records, while verbal communication allows for immediate feedback and emotional nuance. Three, context and purpose. The effectiveness of a communication method often depends on the context. For example, complex or sensitive information might be better communicated through face to face or video calls, while quick updates are often best suited for messaging apps. Four, technological advancements. As technology evolves, so do communication methods. Innovations like the internet, smartphones, and artificial intelligence have drastically changed the speed, reach, and interactivity of communication. Five, cultural impact. Communication methods are also shaped by culture. Different cultures may prefer certain methods over others, and understanding these preferences is key to effective communication. Six, adaptability. Effective communication methods are adaptable. They evolve based on the audience, the message, and the medium, ensuring that the information is always conveyed clearly and effectively. In summary, communication methods work because they are designed to meet human needs for connection, clarity, and context, and they continuously adapt to the changing technological and cultural landscape. If you'd like to dive even deeper into any specific aspect, just let me know.
Okay, so my next question to you is the what strategy is used the evolution of communication method? What strategy?
Great question. The evolution of communication methods has been shaped by several key strategies over time. Let's break them down in detail. One, technological innovation. One of the primary strategies has been the continuous advancement in technology. From the invention of the printing press in the 15th century, which revolutionized mass communication, to the development of the telegraph and telephone in the 19th century, and then the internet and mobile technology in the 20th and 21st centuries, each technological leap has expanded the reach, speed, and accessibility of communication. To standardization and language development. Another strategy has been the development and standardization of language and symbols. As languages evolved and writing systems became more refined, communication methods became more precise and efficient. The creation of alphabets, grammar rules, and standardized scripts allowed for clearer and more consistent messaging. 3, social and cultural adaptation. Communication methods have also evolved by adapting to social and cultural contexts. For instance, the way people communicate in different cultures or the norms around formal versus informal communication have played a significant role. This cultural adaptation ensures the communication methods remain relevant and effective across different societies. Another strategy has been the incorporation of feedback loops. Early forms of communication often relied on immediate direct feedback, such as face-to-face interactions, and over time methods were developed to ensure that feedback could be gathered even at a distance. For example, the postal system allowed for written feedback over time, and modern digital communication enables instant responses. Hive integration of multiple channels. Over time, a key strategy has been integrating multiple communication channels to enhance the effectiveness of messaging. For instance, combining verbal communication with visual aids or using multimedia and digital communication helps convey complex ideas more effectively. Security and privacy considerations. As communication evolved, ensuring the security and privacy of information became a crucial strategy. This led to the development of encryption, security, privacy laws to protect the community. In summary, the evolution of communication methods is driven by a combination of technological advancements, cultural adaptations, feedback mechanisms, and the integration of multiple channels, all aimed at making communication more effective, accessible, and secure. If you'd like to explore any of these strategies more deeply, just let me know.
Okay, so my next question to you is, how did the invention of writing system transform human communication, and what were the earliest known writing system, and how did they differ from each other?
Absolutely. Let's dive into that. Transformation of human communication through writing. 1, permanent record keeping. Before writing, communication was primarily oral, meaning information could be easily lost or distorted over time. The invention of writing allowed for the preservation of information, enabling humans to record laws, transactions, historical events, and cultural stories in a durable format. This permanence helped societies build complex institutions and maintain knowledge across generations. Complex administration. Writing enabled more sophisticated administration and governance. It allowed for the creation of detailed records such as tax documents, census data, and legal codes, which made it possible to manage larger, more complex societies effectively. Cultural transmission. Writing allowed cultures to preserve and transmit their stories, beliefs, and knowledge more reliably. This helped in the formation of literary traditions, philosophical texts, and scientific treatises that could be studied and built upon by future generations. Enhanced communication across distances. Writing broke the limitations of oral communication, enabling people to send messages over long distances and across time. This was crucial for trade, diplomacy, and the spread of ideas. Earliest known writing systems and their differences. Cuneiform, one of the earliest known writing systems. Cuneiform originated in ancient Mesopotamia around 3400 BCE. It involved wedge-shaped marks pressed into clay tablets using a reed stylus. Cuneiform was initially used for record keeping and later adapted for literature, legal documents, and more. Egyptian hieroglyphs Around the same time, ancient Egypt developed hieroglyphs, which combined logographic and alphabetic elements. Hieroglyphs were often used for religious texts and monumental inscriptions, and they were known for their intricate and symbolic imagery. Indus script in the Indus Valley Civilization around 2600 BCE, the Indus script emerged. It remains undeciphered, but it consisted of short, linear symbols often found on seals and pottery. Unlike cuneiform and hieroglyphs, the Indus script is not yet fully understood, making it unique. Chinese characters. Ancient China developed a logographic writing system with characters representing words or morphemes. This system, which dates back to around 1200 BCE, evolved into the complex script we know today. It differs from the other early systems in that it has remained relatively consistent over millennia. Mayan hieroglyphs in Meso. Absolutely. Let's delve into that. Transformation of human communication through writing. One, preservation of information. Before writing, communication was primarily oral, meaning that knowledge and stories were passed down verbally and could easily be lost over generations. The invention of writing allowed humans to record information permanently, preserving knowledge for future generations and enabling the accumulation of wisdom. To complexity and precision, writing enabled more complex and precise communication. It allowed for detailed records, legal documents, literature, and scientific texts, which facilitated the development of complex societies, administration, and governance. Standardization of language. Writing led to the standardization of language. As texts were copied and disseminated, languages became more uniform, which helped in unifying communities and facilitating trade and diplomacy. For expansion of knowledge and education, writing allowed for the accumulation and dissemination of knowledge across generations. This fostered education, the sharing of scientific discoveries, and the growth of intellectual movements like the Renaissance and the Enlightenment. Earliest known writing systems, cuneiform, originating in ancient Mesopotamia around 3200 BCE. Cuneiform is one of the earliest known writing systems. It involved wedge-shaped marks made on clay tablets using a reed stylus. Initially, it was used for record keeping, such as tracking trade and agricultural produce. Hieroglyphics. Ancient Egypt developed hieroglyphics around 3100 BCE. This system combined logographic and alphabetic elements using pictorial symbols to represent sounds, words, and concepts. Hieroglyphs often used for religious texts, monumental inscriptions, and administrative records. Indus script. The Indus Valley Civilization around 2600 BCE used what we now call the Indus script. It remains largely undeciphered, but it was found on seals, pottery, and tablets, indicating a form of writing used for trade and administrative purposes. Oracle bone script. In ancient China around 1200 BCE, the oracle bone script was used for divination. This early Chinese writing system involved inscribing characters on animal bone, their turtle shells, and is considered one of the earliest forms of Chinese writing. Differences among early writing systems: logographic versus phonetic. Some early systems like Egyptian hieroglyphics and Chinese characters were logographic, meaning that symbols represented words or morphemes. Others like cuneiform initially combined logographic and syllabic elements.
I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble responding right now. Please wait a bit and try again.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. If there's anything else you'd like to know or any other details you'd like to dive into, just let me know.
Okay, nice. So my next question to you is, can you explain how did the invention of the printing press revolutionize communication, and how did the communication methods change during the Revolution?
Absolutely. Let's dive into that. The invention of the printing press, one, mass production of texts. Before the printing press, books had to be copied by hand, which was labor intensive and time consuming. The invention of the printing press by Johannes Gutenberg in the mid-15th century revolutionized this process by allowing for the mass production of books and written materials. This made books more accessible and affordable. 2, spread of knowledge. The printing press enabled the rapid spread of knowledge and ideas. This led to the dissemination of scientific discoveries, philosophical works, and religious texts on a much larger scale than ever before. It played a key role in major cultural movements such as the Renaissance and the Reformation. 3, increased literacy. With more books available, literacy rates began to rise, education became more widespread, and people from different social classes had better access to information and learning. 4, standardization of texts. The printing press also contributed to the standardization of
Yes,
absolute.
Continue your answer.
Of course, picking up from where we left off, standardization of texts. The printing press helped standardize languages, spelling, and grammar because once texts were printed, they could be reproduced consistently. This led to more uniformity in written communication and helped unify regions under common linguistic standards. Communication methods during the Industrial Revolution. 1, expansion of transportation and communication networks. The Industrial Revolution brought significant advancements in transportation, such as the expansion of railways and steamships, which allowed for faster and more reliable movement of people and information. 2, telegraph and telephone. The invention of the telegraph in the 19th century was transformative, allowing for near instantaneous communication over long distances. This was followed by the telephone, which further revolutionized real-time voice communication. 3, mass media and printing advances. The Industrial Revolution also saw the rise of newspapers, magazines, and other printed materials thanks to improved printing technology. This led to widespread dissemination of news and information, helping shape public opinion and culture. 4, urbanization and communication hubs. As cities grew during the Industrial Revolution, urban centers became communication hubs with more centralized infrastructure for newspapers, telegraph offices, and postal services. This facilitated quicker and more efficient communication within and between cities. In summary, the printing press laid the foundation for a more informed and literate society, while the Industrial Revolution further transformed communication by making it faster, more accessible, and more widespread. If you have any more questions or want to explore any of these points in greater details, just let me know.
Okay. Okay, Chatgpt. So, Chatgpt, my next question to you is, can you explain, please, how did the telephone change personal and business communication, and how did newspaper influence society in the 19th and early 20th centuries?
Absolutely. Let's dive into both of those topics. How the telephone changed personal and business communication. 1, instantaneous voice communication. Before the telephone, personal and business communication relied heavily on written letters and telegraphs, which could take hours, days, or even weeks to deliver. The telephone, invented by Alexander Graham Bell in 1876, allowed people to communicate in real time through voice, revolutionizing how quickly and effectively people could share information. 2, enhance personal connectivity. On a personal level, the telephone brought families and friends closer, allowing for immediate, spontaneous conversations regardless of distance. This made communication more personal and immediate compared to written correspondence. 3, business efficiency. In the business world, the telephone greatly improved efficiency. It allowed for quicker decision-making, faster coordination between departments and branches, and the ability to conduct business negotiations and customer service in real time. This helped businesses become more dynamic and responsive. 4, global connectivity. Over time, the telephone network expanded globally, connecting people across continents and making the world more interconnected than ever before. How newspapers influenced society in the 19th and early 20th centuries. 1, no problem at all. If you have any other questions or need more details later, just let me know. I'm here to help.
Okay, Chatgpt, nice conversation with you, and thank you for answering. So we will just pause over today, Chatgpt. I hope you like it. See you another video, another topic. Till then, Allah is Pakistan, Zindabad, School Painda.